So today I got a long form video for y'all today, and today we're gonna be talking about leading kids to greatness, right? And when I did research on like the best coaches of all time, one thing they all had in common is that they was able to lead people to win championships. They were able to lead people to greatness, and a part of this process leading to greatness, character development, personality development, motivation, inspiration. Like they became the best version of themselves, right? So then I look back at it, right? It's like, okay, when you understand how to inspire, how to motivate, how to pick people up, you could inspire more people. You could impact more people in a way that it just feels unreal. You get what I'm saying? And I want to first, like, pretty much what I'm gonna talk about is how I feel like a lot of people of today's generation is going about it wrong, right? It's like I understand that some kids are like, bad, or some kids it just ain't no helping them. But a majority of kids you can help them. Majority of kids you can save them. And how to do that is by leading them in a good direction. How you do that is not, because one thing I notice, people think if you scream and yell at a kid all the time, that's going to help. Like, no, that's emotional damage. Just, okay, if you can whoop a kid every day, but if you're not leading them, you just go continue to whoop them every day, right? If you scream and yell at a kid every day without giving them proper direction, you're just going to be screaming and yelling at them every day. But you got to help fix the problem. You got to sit them down. You got to stay consistent. It might take a week. It might take a few weeks. It might take a few months. It might take a few years, right? But anytime you got a chance to help get them some knowledge that they could soak in and they can hopefully maintain over time, and over time you're helping them change. Because you don't know how long they've been having these bad habits or these bad vices. And you think just one day you're going to change that? No, you got to be consistent with them. You got to be consistent. So part of my new coaching philosophy is that to ingrain positive things in kids' heads on the daily. Tell them positive stuff every day. Tell them motivating stuff every day. You get what I'm saying? When you plant a seed into the ground, that's not it. You just not walk away. Like, you got a flower. I mean, my bad. You got to water. You got to make sure you get sunlight. You got to take care of it on the daily. You get what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to going to the gym, you can't just go to the gym one time. You get your dream physique. No, you got to diet. You got to hydrate. You got to get sleep. You got to make sure you're hitting the gym consistently. There's a lot goes into that. Seriously, though, right? You know what I'm saying? When you go into your dream life, you just can't work on it one day. You have to constantly go after it, right? So when it comes to work with the kids and the youth, it should be the same way. Like, if you helping them, plant the seeds in them daily. Like, yes, I understand that some kids you cannot help, but the ones need a little bit more encouragement. The ones need a little bit more motivation, a little bit more inspiration. They need someone to pull them to the side every day, say, hey, you could do it. Stay on them. Because there's no best feeling in the world, right? When that kid walk across the stage and it's tears of joy because you help save them. You help inspire them. You help change them. You help them in a way that they didn't even think that could be helped. You set them away. They didn't even think they couldn't be saved. You get what I'm saying? Because for me, right, I just like literally, right, you got to think about I'm really young myself. I'm in my early 20s. This is my first year coaching, my first year get involved in the teacher world, first year get involved in the mentoring world. So I'm learning a lot of stuff on my own because, I don't necessarily have no mentor. So I'm kind of figuring things out on my own as I go. So I made a lot of mistakes in the process. And I learned a lot from my mistakes. You get what I'm saying? But one thing I can sit here and tell you is that over these few months, I had students where teachers told me that there was no saving that kid, and I saved them. I had coaches tell me that these athletes wasn't no good, and they became great athletes. I seen athletes make so much improvement. I seen students make so much improvement. I had students that went from E's, D's, and F's to having all A's and B's. I seen kids that didn't care about school at all. They care a lot about their grades because I was in their ear every chance I can. I was in their ear every chance I can. Hey, do your schoolwork. Make sure you take care of your schoolwork. Because I genuinely care. I want to see them do good. I don't want to see them 5 years from now, 4 years from now, 10 years from now. They out here not doing nothing with their life. And I know they got so much potential to be great. I honestly feel like God has a plan for everyone's life. I mean, yes, God do have a plan for everybody's life. I'm sorry, I'm not perfect. I'm learning as I go. But God has a plan for everybody's life, right? Everyone has so much potential in their own way. But what are they going to do to get that? But if they have no one at home inspire them, no one at school inspire them, the sport coaches don't care about them, no one cares about them, how will they ever get there if no one never taught them how to go after it? No one never taught them anything, right? So if no one ever taught you how to cook, you never watch cooking videos, you think you're just gonna go in the kitchen and know what you're doing? No, that's stupid. It doesn't work like that. It genuinely doesn't. It don't. They say they with a sport. That's why I encourage kids to play sports in the youth. Because if kids learn how to play the sport at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, so by the time they get 16, they could be developed as an athlete, right? And they could be getting better. They can understand everything. Then they could potentially start talking to college coaches. Then, they could go out to college and be this great athlete. Because an athlete that been playing the sport for 8 years compared to someone that been playing it for 1 or 2, you're going to see a huge difference. Not because of talent, because they don't understand what's going on yet. They need time to master the fundamentals. They need time to build a foundation. A lot of people just skipping the foundation part, trying to get straight to the full product. Name one day in your life where you don't build a foundation, you don't build a base, and it just work out for the long term. Because back when I did construction work, when I came home during the summers from college, right, we had to build a foundation, right? When I did scaffolding, we had to build the foundation, a base, before we start building the scaffold. Because without the base, without the foundation, there's no scaffold that could possibly be built. So think about a kid's life like that. When they are young, right, or trying to go about their life, there's no foundation, no philosophy, no base that's being built. How could they go about their life when they get older? They have nothing to stand on. When you have nothing to stand on, you'll fall for anything. Seriously though. And that's the thing too. Like, nothing I'm saying is stripped. Like, I literally just hit the camera and just start recording, right? Because these few months, I did a lot of research. I spent a lot of time around the kids. I spent a lot of time trying to motivate people, trying to inspire people. Yes, I made a lot of mistakes, and I made, you know what I'm saying? And I had a lot of successes so far, right? That's why I'm making this video talk about from my experience. We need more people that care about the kids, because my thing is, they supposed to be the future of the generation. They supposed to be the next people up. If we're not helping the next people up, how do we expect the world to go in the right good direction? How do we expect the world to grow, to prosper, if we're not even encouraging and motivating? Parents need to stop being selfish and actually spend time with their kids. Parents need to actually motivate their kids. Parents need to actually stop trying to control every little part of their kids' life in a negative way, and let their kids spread their wings and help them in a positive way. Like, parents, you can be a part of your kid's life without being controlling and manipulative and possessive. Parents, sign your kids up for sports. While you have your kids sitting in the house all day on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, sign them up for sports. Let them learn life skills, because there's a lot of life skills you can learn from sports. You can learn how to be motivated. You can learn about diet. You can learn about exercise. You can learn about lifting weights and working out. You can learn about discipline. You can learn about staying at it instead of giving up when things get hard. There's so much that you can learn from sports that when you get into the real world, you can maintain them things. Because I am the way I am today because when I did track in college, I was hurt 99% of my career, 90% of my career. So I was horrible in college. I never had the time consistently to develop how I was supposed to. That would motivate me, because I was constantly in a position where things never worked out, but I kept going. That's been my whole life. I've constantly been in a situation where I've been working for things haven't been working out right. So I can speak for this firsthand. When things finally work out, it's the best feeling in the world. When things going in the right direction, it's the best feeling in the world. So, you know, if you're someone in position of leadership, if you're a teacher, a sports coach, a PE coach, a parent, if you don't know what you're doing, watch videos, read books, ask parents, ask other parents. Find out, how can you be a part of your kid's life in a positive way? How can you motivate them? How can you inspire them? How can you teach them things that need to be taught? No one's perfect. No one's perfect. We all got our own flaws. But one thing I do know is that you can still help someone. No matter who you are, you can still spread some good knowledge. No matter who you are, you could still impact someone's life in a good way. You get what I'm saying? And these kids, right? They need someone to lead them, someone to encourage them, not someone that's going to scream and yell at them, someone that's going to put them down all the time. They need someone to say, hey, don't do it like this. You need to do it like this. How you go about it. Oh, you want to know? You want to understand how to get better grades? This is how you get better grades. You understand how to be better at this sport? This is how you be better at this sport. You want to learn how to control your emotions? This is how you go about controlling your emotions. You want to stay out of trouble? This is how you go about staying out of trouble. And you be on to them every day. It could be weekly, monthly, yearly. Stick at it. They learning. They're kids. They not fully developed. They're like, you know, like, man, I'm in my early 20s. I still make a lot of mistakes. I still got a lot of growing to do. So you tell me a 13, 12-year-old, 11-year-old, a 15-year-old, 16-year-old supposed to just have it all figured out? No, they're going to make mistakes. And when they make mistakes, you're going to keep encouraging them like, hey, stay at it. Hey, you're doing fine. Keep going. Because last time I checked, good leadership is not about just putting people down. It's about finding ways to inspire, finding ways to motivate, finding ways how to get the team going in the right direction, to get the program going in the right direction, to get the business going in the right direction. So why not have your kids going in the right direction? Why not have your students going in the right direction? Why not have the youth going in the right direction? Your athletes going in the right direction? But yeah, that's it for the video. Hopefully someone to see this inspire or motivate someone, and I pray that, you know, our generation, what generations to come, head in the right direction and be in the best position possible to to be. Oh my God, I'm just in the video. I'm sorry, y'all.